Oh my goodness, my.
Really nice. You know, of all the trucks in the museum, I'm actually very impressed by this one because I like the twin headlights, you know. Now look at this big bad boy right here, guys.
Hello everyone. Alright, so today I am on my way to the Netherlands, everyone. I am going to go to a particular city that goes by the name Eindhoven. Alright guys, I'm near the Dutch border, but geez, I mean, everyone drives so fast. I'm driving at 90 kilometers per hour and literally every single person is overtaking me. Like, what's the rush? What's the rush? Like, come on, slow down, like, just appreciate your car, drive slowly. If you keep driving so fast, I mean, you're not gonna appreciate the journey. You're just gonna consume even more fuel, and in long terms, it can wear the tires away. Eindhoven is not a city that's close to the seaside. Eindhoven is a city that's actually inland. And most of the big cities of the Netherlands, like Rotterdam, The Hague, and Amsterdam, they're all located close to the sea or close to the big body of water. We're about to cross the border. Now, from this point, I will be making observations about the Netherlands. I'll be observing what sort of cars I see right there. Alrighty, everyone, here we are. We are entering the Netherlands. Now, from this point, the road quality is going to change. I can feel it already. Let's see what's happening. Alright, so something has changed about the road, guys. The quality of the road has changed. I've noticed in the Netherlands, the quality of the highway is just completely it's always been just smoother compared to Belgian highways. Everything is just smoother. And look at this, guys. Wow. Alright guys, we have arrived at Eindhoven. Oh my goodness, it's very, very, very green. It's unbelievable, everyone. Unbelievable. The highway looked industrial, but as soon as I left the highway, I am greeted with so much greenery. It's unbelievable. Oh my goodness. My. Wow. Alright guys, so I'm outside the museum of DAF, and it's very interesting, guys. Eindhoven has been amazing so far. Very interesting. It's actually quite a lively city. Well, when it's quieter out here, it's better. It's just more ambient. It's just nice. I like it. I really do. Anyways, time to check out the museum, guys. Guys, I'm actually in the museum, and it's so nice out here. Like, literally. So this is very interesting what I'm seeing. Oh wait, there's a little model town I just saw. Let's see. Okay, by the way, this is a common practice amongst the architectures and car designers, especially when designing trucks. They always have models like this. So this is supposed to be some sort of prototype or something. It's never the original model, but this is a common practice I've seen amongst many car manufacturers. Oh, here's the model town, guys. Wow! Well, that looks interesting. Before I get down to exploring this museum, I just want to quickly remind you all that DAF is a Dutch manufacturer for trucks that has had a reputation for building average trucks. So in the world of cars, you can see DAF like Opel, Renault, cars that are average, cars that don't have anything groundbreaking about them. This is how DAF is in the world of trucks. The only advantage DAF really has is they are very cheap to afford and probably cheap to repair, although reliability of DAF trucks in today's generation has been of subject to question because it's hit or miss. Recent years, DAF has been owned by an American company called PACCAR. They also build trucks. And so therefore, and this purchase happened in the 1970s. So this explains a lot, guys. Anyways, let's get on to checking out the museum. And I just thought I would briefly introduce some things about DAF. Oh, and before I get down to exploring, I just want to quickly mention that DAF's business has not always been about trucks. They did build cars at one point, and they did also build vans. But the car business went down because of
well, competition, less demands. This was built in the 1950s, everyone. It was used as a police vehicle. Very interesting, actually, because that time in the 1950s, the most popular van used to be, well, the one which I know would have been something from Mercedes, especially large vans. But it's very interesting, guys. Looks cool. Look at this interior. The thing that I think the prominent difference between DAF and Mercedes of that time is that Mercedes had more build quality to it. They were more in their business for a long time, whereas DAF was relatively new, I feel. Like, if you look at the way the build quality of this thing, it looks like it's been, well, I guess built from scratch. It's a similar case I've noticed with the Citroen H van, I realized. It's like, you know, cheap to afford, but don't expect quality to be its trump card. Nice wheels right here. Very interesting wheels, by the way. I like how the wheels are very big, yet quite slender. Like, look at how slender they are. Alright, so this is a pickup truck by DAF. Apparently it came all the way from Curacao. Now the design at the front is quite interesting because it appears to draw prominent cues from American pickup trucks. Like, the first thing I thought of when I saw the front was Chevrolet, something like that. Now, I believe that's where the inspiration was drawn from. That's not to say that it's based on Chevrolet. Maybe it is. Maybe not, guys. I actually don't know. But, yes, it's very interesting how they've gone about the design of this truck. But I like this. I like it from here in particular, like this whole angle right here. And this is the exterior design of this truck, guys. I mean, look at this. This truck is really nice. You know, of all the trucks in the museum, I'm actually very impressed by this one because I like the twin headlights. You know, it has this really strong Dutch pride about it. And it's a bit like a ship. Wow. Wow, I love it. And look at this. This is the wheel of the truck. Now, I've noticed the Dutch trucks and buses have a thing for this sort of hubcap. Like, I've noticed especially Belgian brands like Van Hool, they always have this sort of hubcap. It's very interesting, and I've noticed this with their buses, Van Hool buses. And over here is the engine. They always are located underneath the cabin. So it's very interesting how they've gone. Okay guys, I was allowed to check out the interior of this truck, so let's see how this goes. Oh my guys, those were the interiors of the Sweet 70s, guys. Trucks of the Sweet 70s. In fact, it smells like the 70s in here. Looks very nice. Very good. And this is a, well, this is a sleeper. So this is for when, because this truck was used as a route truck. So it would travel, according to the description, it would travel all the way to Germany and back for livestocks. And so, since the journeys were always too long, they would have a sleeper in the back here. And this is a common practice in trucks of today. It's not really necessarily a thing of the past. But it's very interesting. It's just so interesting how they've gone about this interior. I mean, it's I think the thing to remark about DAF is that they've always built trucks from scratch. They never did it out of style. They always focused on basics, and they did it in the right way. And look at how huge the steering wheel is. Oh wow. Some DAF cars right here. This is called the DAF Kini. Very interesting. Actually, it's quite an interesting name because when I see the name Kini, I instantly think of something Japanese, but according to the description, actually, it had some Italian influence. And this doesn't surprise me because the Italians are the king of small cars. By the way, the interior is so cute. I mean, look at what they made the seat out of. It's like basket materials, but so cool and creative, and it's completely wood. Wow. Okay, by the way, there's something very interesting about this particular DAF right here. Sort of remind me of Volkswagen. It's quite nice. Very good. I mean, I don't know if this was done deliberately or perhaps this was just chance, like by chance. But like when I see those wheels, first thing that comes to my mind is Volkswagen. It reminds me of something Volkswagen used to give to the Volkswagen Polo and the Golf of the past. Oh, by the way, it's written variomatic. This is a DAF specialty. They actually are known for the variomatic transmission. Oh yes, everyone. I forgot to mention that DAF also still contributes to military vehicles. This particular military vehicle is quite interesting. Looks very nice, guys. I mean, look at this. It's I like the looks of it, but then I'm pretty sure this was not built for the looks. What I have to remark is that the engine is quite conspicuous, and I just wonder if it gets too hot, like doesn't it affect the passenger and the driver? Because I mean, there's a chance this thing gets overheated or something. Just wondering, guys, because I mean the engine is like right next to the driver and the passenger, so I'm just wondering what it's like to drive when it gets really hot inside. Now this particular military vehicle kind of interests me because it appears to take design cues from American military vehicles. It actually strongly reminds me of something Dodge used to do. I think this model was called Dodge WC something. It's quite interesting. Now, I'm not trying to say that this is based on it. No. This is a DAF. But again, the design cues really draws from American companies, like something Americans used to do. But that's normal because this was the post-World War II era. Whoa! Look at this bad boy, everyone. Look at this. Now this is a DAF for off-roading. Who said only Mercedes could do this with the Unimog or with their off-roaders? Look at this, guys. This thing looks like it's built to sail the seas or something. No, obviously not. Do not attempt this, but definitely meant for off-roading. But you just have to admire, like, wow. Oh, something's interesting. Oh, okay. So the axle, the propeller shaft, does not go directly to the axle there. It has this, it goes above, guys. So, and this is a practice I've noticed Mercedes also does with the G-Wagon and also with the other 4x4s or trucks, off-roader trucks. And DAF employs this with this particular truck. Well, employed this with this truck. I do not know if they build this still, but it's very interesting what I'm seeing right there, guys. This is a very interesting. I actually never thought this existed before on a truck for the 1960s or 70s. Oh yes, guys, over here the fire engine. Again, I don't know what is it about. I don't know if it's just me, but I have a feeling that DAF really likes to draw a lot of inspiration from American trucks because again, the front for a second does remind me of Chevrolet. Like this is something Chevrolet would always do. Put the badge here and then have a straight grille like this. So it's very interesting. It's oh yes, guys, this is another DAF truck that's built for the roads as a road tractor. I really am impressed by the design, and also the visibility is something that's really proven to its advantage. Okay guys, now this is the light utility vehicle. So this is supposed to be for light duty. And it's very interesting, and this is supposed to be like the direct competitor to the past models, like the Renault Saviem, and also there were some small Citroen lightweight trucks, and then also lightweight Mercedes trucks. However, in the case of this DAF, it kind of reminds me of Leyland. It looks as though they've had strong collaboration with English companies because, well, I mean, when I went to England, I remember lots of them had different names on them, but they looked visually like DAF. They were called ERF. There used to be a company called ERF, E-R-F, and they had really it appears they had some strong collaborations with DAF. So it's very interesting what's exactly going on. No, guys, we cannot neglect the buses of DAF. They had a reputation for buses as well. This particular bus was used by the royal family, guys. Very interesting, by the way. And the front is quite interesting as well. Like this, well, it's a typical DAF at the front. But then as you look inside, it just gets more interesting. Very nice. Very cozy, by the way. Looks quite cozy by the looks of it. And this is another bus. Very nice. Oh, wow. This interior looks quite fancy. Nice, nice. I'm going to confess that not even buses of today have some interiors that are as posh as this. I mean, look at that, guys. You got even like some leather stitching right there. Very cool. Now it's time we take a step ahead and take a look at the trucks of today, everyone. These are modern DAF trucks. Now, as you can tell, they have some really interesting design. In fact, this is a DAF identity. And this is something that's been with DAF for now very, very long time. This particular grille and these two lights. But if you look at this particular DAF right here, there's something about it that kind of reminds me of Scania. And it appears that in the 1980s or 70s, they had some similarities to Scania trucks in that sense. So now I'm not very certain if this was because of a collaboration or if it's simply because, well, I don't know actually, just perhaps design. But it's still good. I mean, it's got its own style to it. This particular truck interests me because the door strongly reminds me of something Renault would give to their truck. The Renault Midlum, I think, if I'm correct. And I know Volvo also uses a similar door like that. So this is what lies inside these bad boys, guys. I mean, look at this. This is the mechanisms. Whoa! Thank goodness I'm not an engineer, because I have like... It's like just so complex engineering right here, guys. It's complex architecture. And this is at the rear. Wow. Now look at this big bad boy right here, guys. This big bad boy participated in the Dakar Rally of the 1980s. What? Look at this. Look at this, guys. Do you see the red tubes right there? These are the shocks. The shocks for the suspension. And you can literally see the engine right here. What? This is crazy. Crazy in a good sense, guys. So cool. DAF VD400. Now this is very interesting because when I was in England, I saw some vans very similar to this, and it was called LVD or LDV something. In England, this van was actually very popular. So and DAF also built this here in the Netherlands. So it's actually quite interesting what exactly is going on. This is supposed to be a small van, and this was supposed to be the direct competitor to the then Mercedes Sprinter, which was previously known as the Mercedes T1 back in the 90s. This van is from the 90s, by the way. The interior looks very much for standards of a truck. Like when I see this interior at the center, it reminds me of other DAF interiors I've seen, because Mercedes had interiors that were very different to this, that were more appropriate for standards of a van. Whereas in this DAF van, I see it's very, it's almost as if they still maintain the standards of a truck, a full-size truck. So it's quite interesting what's exactly happening right here. But so far in this museum, this has to be one of my favorites. I mean, look at this. And this is a rear-wheel drive, by the way. So the engine powers the back wheels. Interesting. Alright guys, so now I'm at the section of the museum which covers light utility vehicles. Now, there's something very interesting I just spotted right here, which is worth showing you all. The engine is right there, but look at what's happening for the engine to give power to the back two wheels. So the engine is right here, but then there's a shaft, a propeller shaft that goes right underneath the driver's area. And then there's something that is a sort of... Then there's some... well, I'm not sure how we call this, guys. You see, I'm not sure what it's called, but it gives... It sort of transmits the power to another propeller shaft that gives directly power to an axle, and this axle gives some power, and this axle gives power directly to the two rear wheels. Very interesting happening right here, and I noticed this earlier on their military vehicles. Guys, this is supposed to be the DAF Porter. Now it's very interesting because this is supposed to be well, it's just very nice what's going on. It's supposed to be amphibious, but according to the description, it had some American involvement. Or what? Believe it or not, DAF actually had some things in motorsports going on. I mean, look at this. They actually had some Formula One stuff. This is like supposed to be the mechanic aspect of it. So how the engine delivers power to the rear wheels. Most brands would always have an axle at the back that gives power to the both wheels equally. But in the case of this DAF, and in case of many DAF cars I've seen so far, DAF had the complex engineering of having an axle right there, and then two separate power to the both rear wheels. So it's very interesting what exactly is happening here. Did this prove advantageous for DAF or not? I don't really know, everyone, but in my opinion, this looks like complex engineering right here. This could have been DAF's undoing to some extent, because many other brands were offering simple engineering solutions which lasted longer, which were more reliable, whereas in the case of DAF, this thread right there is already a sign of fragile engineering, or something that doesn't endure for too long. Or maybe I'm wrong, please excuse me, but again, reliability. If you want to achieve the maximum of reliability, simplicity is key. And this is why Volkswagen and most of the German competitors were successful in their business in this cause. And same for the French competitors, but the French competitors always had mainly front-wheel drive cars, so this would never exist. It would always be at the front. Alright guys, over here things are getting very interesting, because I'm seeing a lot of DAF light utility vehicles, especially known as the DAF 31. Light utility vehicles, guys. These were loosely based on DAF cars, and DAF passenger vehicles are right here. Very interesting. Very interesting indeed. The thing about DAF passenger vehicles is that they were cheap to afford. They were kind of like Opel of today. They were not very interesting or something groundbreaking to drive, but they were just super cheap to afford. That they were just and they were very economic to live with. But as for engine power, yes, engine power was not their strength. We call this the wind tunnel. So this is how they test the aerodynamic aspects of their vehicles, their trucks, and this is a common practice with all manufacturers, all car manufacturers and truck manufacturers. Good, it's very nice. By the way, I love the wheel skirt. See, just look at this. I like it when the bodywork covers the rear wheels. It just looks nicer. But then again, that's my opinion, and I guess the reason why wheel skirts don't exist anymore, we call them fender skirts. They don't exist anymore because of practical reasons. It's easy to maintain, and it's just less work. Today was a very good experience. I just left the museum, and I have to say I was very impressed with it. I really liked the presentation. I really liked the information that was on display. Very, very good. I was very impressed, and the trucks over there were quite interesting, and I was very surprised by the things I've seen there. Alright guys, so I'm gonna be leaving now. I'm gonna be leaving Eindhoven soon. But I have to say it was a very, very, very eye-opening experience, guys. And I've noticed the highway was a bit like a water park. It's like at some point I see the bridges, they're so tall, oh my goodness. And this is like a very prominent difference between the Netherlands and Belgium. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned for more videos that are on the run. And please don't forget to check the links in the description for links of my car reviews. Alright then, take care everyone.